ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। मुगं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताकस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमो आचार्यपादाय निताय कृपप्रदायिने गौरकथादामदाय नगरग्रामतारिणे। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for reading yesterday 1 to 7, and I saw the notes which you have prepared is good, reasonably good, very nice. But in this, there are very important verses that which you may be a little bit missed to notice, which I would like to bring to your attention, which is very regularly quoted by Srila Prabhupada, and also which establishes certain very important truths. So, this chapter is called Knowledge of the Absolute. First, you should know what exactly absolute mean. Can any of you tell me what does absolute mean?
Full and final.
Yes, very good. Final? What and final?
I mean, absolute is there is nothing beyond it.
Okay, there is nothing beyond it. Very good. Okay, so here what we are talking about that absolute mean is in Bhagavatam, if you see the first canto, initial chapter is fully dedicated, especially first 3-4 slokas are totally dedicated in describing what is this absolute. Okay, it describes it as Krishna, also is Paramatma, Brahman, all these features of the Supreme Lord also put together is called absolute. Okay, so the end of knowledge, this is like knowledge of the absolute is you need to know what is absolute truth. So what is this absolute truth? So the absolute truth is unchangeable truth, which is eternal, which is ever existing. The changeable and temporary truth are in the creation of the material existence. Why I am telling creation of the material existence? Because there is a dissolution or destruction, after which material world will not exist. It will exist in a form of a single chunk of matter. The variegatedness which appears after the cosmic manifestation is temporary. The material cosmic manifestations are temporary. So they are created and annihilated and created and annihilated, created and annihilated. So whatever varieties you see within this material world are all temporary. So that we cannot call that a part of absolute. But the whole external energy, is it part of absolute truth? Yes. But is it transcendental? No. Is it spiritual? No. So there is Krishna, who is Supreme Personality of Godhead. He can be perceived in 3 features, Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. But Bhagavan is his original feature and Brahman is the effulgence which is coming out of his body and Paramatma is the localized aspect of him. This Krishna, Supreme Bhagavan, that Bhagavan is nobody but the full of the personality full of opulence, which is Krishna himself, and that is Ishvara. And this particular Supreme Personality of Godhead has 3 energies: internal energy, marginal energy, and external energy. So here in this chapter, we will see how Krishna is discriminating between each, because people get confused. Even within the material world, people get confused thinking the body to be themselves. If they go one level up, they think that mind is themselves. You see many yogis and people who talk so much about spirituality, either they are sitting in Either they are sitting in big ashram, or they are sitting in Himalayas or some forest. But when they speak wisdom words, which seems to be better than materialistic people, but they will end up with the mind to be themselves, controlling of the mind, they will consider controlling of themselves or whatever it is. So there's so much confusion in basic understanding of things. So here, Krishna is going to discriminate and clearly make us identify the difference between what is matter, what is the living entity, marginal entity, spirit, souls, and what is Ishvara. So Ishvara, Prakriti. So we saw that the Bhagavad Gita introduction, we saw that Bhagavad Gita comprises of 5 topics: Jiva, Ishvara, Kala, Karma, Prakriti. So this Jiva is marginal energy, and Ishvara is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose energy is marginal energy, internal energy, external energy. Prakriti is of 2 types: spiritual, para Prakriti, apara Prakriti. So here in this material world, we will see external energy predominantly. This is the external energies world. I have a question. Do you see internal energy in this world? Except Navaneet, somebody else should answer. Navaneet will get the chance last if nobody's answering.
Through Lord's benedictions, His blessings.
His blessings or mercy is external energy is this world we are seeing. Marginal energy or the jiva. So what is the internal energy? Do you see any manifestation of internal energy in this world? Good. Mercy, one sense, one small. Maybe, yes. But how does the mercy come? What is that thing?
The spiritual masters, his internal potency can be considered the spiritual masters.
Sometimes spiritual masters or transcendental personalities or internal potency. Sometimes, most of the times, they are also marginal energy, jiva only, but empowered jiva. They are called Shakti Avesha Avatar. So they are also jiva, they are also marginal energy only, but they are empowered by Supreme Lord and internal energy. So yeah, you're coming gradually. Think more. There are 2 things. One is personality, another is manifestation. Like for example, external energy is Durga and the manifestation is the material world. So same way, internal energy has a personality and a manifestation. So do you see any of that in the material world?
The Archa Vigraha, the deities.
Archavigra is Krishna himself, is Ishvara. See, you should know what is Ishvara and what are his energies. The Archavigraha, of course, it's merciful form, mercy, everything is there. But that is Krishna himself, no? So then what is Krishna? If Archavigraha is not Krishna, is external, internal energy, is it energy or the primary personality? See, there is a personality and he has energy. The difference between material world energy and spiritual is, in material world energy is not personified, but in spiritual world, Krishna's all energies are persons. Like his flute is a person, his star is a person, same like that. We also as marginal energy, we're all personalities. External energy, Durga Devi, she's also a personality. Who's the personality of internal energy? I started getting hiccup from my Bhakti Shastri students. Who is the... Hey, come on, yeah. Okay, Navaneet. Anybody else? Who is there actually today? Our dear participants. All sleeping, huh? Abhiram Mangal, you have any idea? Abhiram Mangal.
Devotional service.
Welcome. Devotional service to the Supreme Lord is the manifestation of the internal energy. Very good. Excellent. Okay, who's the personality? Ayan, Mandal, Jagannath Prabhu.
Radha.
Jai Srimati Radharani ki Jai. But is she manifest in the material world? No idea. So, Srimati Radharani is the personality, but she is Vrindavaneshwari and she lives in the spiritual world. All manifestation in spiritual world is under her energy. How all the manifestation in the material world is under Jada Prakriti. So there is a higher nature and there is a lower nature. The higher nature is spirituality, and two energies will fall into spiritual category. One energy will fall into material category. So the two energies are internal energy and marginal energy are all spiritual. Satsidananda, Supreme Lord also spiritual.
Mataji, Tulsi Maharani will come under which category then?
Very good.
Vrinde Devi we say, no?
Yes, but still she's not appearing as a personality, but she's appearing as a plant. Her mercy is coming. So the internal energy, a very good point you brought, that it is manifest in this world as devotional service. Tulsi is also a part of devotional service only. She comes here so that she can give association in the form of a plant, not as Vrindi Devi. So the main personalities, even though they are present in the spiritual world, their mercy is available here in the form of these kind of paraphernalia, especially meant for devotional service to Lord Hari. What is the purpose of Tulasi? Some people say that, oh, it is very good for cough, very good for cold, very good for fever. But actually, we know she's worshipped in every ISKCON temple. Prabhupada asked to worship in the mornings and the evenings. And we go around Tulsi Maharani 3 times, and then we 4 times, and then circumnavigate. We do arati, we offer flower, incense, deep, everything, and offer water. Everybody is asked to offer water. Like this, she is really respected well, and mostly she is placed next to Krishna in the altar in this way. So these are all devotional service. There are aspects of devotional service is the manifestation in this material world. Very good. Now, coming here, so you should know that in the material world, typically it's not primary platform of internal energy. Certain living entities would like to connect with Supreme Lord Krishna through bhakti. This devotional service is available. This bhakti yoga's primary benediction is this devotional services. So in material world, basically, if you see, the cosmic manifestation has matter and it has marginal energy, jiva, which is conditioned within the matter. And Supreme Lord, who is situated within the heart as Paramatma, not only as Paramatma, he is the reason for creation, maintenance, and destruction. Okay, he is the primary Lord who created this world, but in the form of Vishnu forms, Purusha avatars. So there are 3 Purusha avatara, Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, and Karnodaka Sai Vishnu are called Purusha avatars. So these 3 are the primary reason for this material maintenance. So spiritually speaking, he is there. So Supreme Lord in the form of Paramatma as well as his ability is manifesting everything, and also in Vishnu forms. And then marginal energy is there, then external energy. So this discrimination, understanding Krishna in a proper scientific way without confusing the concepts, that is the primary aspect. And thoroughly understanding Krishna in that way is really difficult. Even for great rishis and munis, we are able to so easily understand with a miniature language like English is possible only by the mercy of pure devotees of Krishna who comes in Acharya Parampara, like Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So Srila Prabhupada has made it so easy, especially this is made very easy by Lord Chaitanya and his teachings. So before Lord Chaitanya, many rishis and munis were also confused about many aspects of the absolute truth. Okay, so now in this chapter, we will start seeing gradually, clearly the discrimination. Krishna will explain nicely. So to start with, he said, first is teaching how to hear from the Supreme now here. So this hearing process is what explained in this portion. And Srila Prabhupada gives the power of hearing in the first purport itself. That how powerful is hearing. This already I went through once with you. This is the very important aspects of Srimad Bhagavatam and the second chapter in first canto, which describes how the hearing process is so powerful. It can lead one till prema. Starting with hearing will lead to prema. Second is, so Krishna is explaining, especially insisting on hearing attentively. So here he is telling that this is very famous verse. Okay. Manushyanam sahasreshu. This is of thousands of men. Kaschit yadati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam viti tatvatah. Out of many thousands of men, one may endure for perfection. Of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one. So, 1,000 people are there. Within that, one person will endure for perfection. And among such enduring people, 1,000 people, one person will be hardly knowing the Krishna in truth. Hardly. And among such 1,000 people, one may know in the truth, like that. So it's very, like, that is one of the famous verse. Another is the fourth verse, which is, he is talking about external energy. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. 8 elements. Many times people talk 5 elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether. But actually, mind, intelligence, false ego are subtle elements, and these 5 are gross elements, all put together. They are all Krishna's separated material energy. So, definition of external energy is here. Of course, there are 3 modes of nature, but they are all verb. There are 2 things, noun and verb. Noun are things, or factual things which are there. Verb are the actions or transactions which we do on that. So activities. So that is different. The guna and all comes next. But basically, Krishna's energy is this. All together this. Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Vayu, Kammano, Buddhirevacha, Ahankara, iti amme, Binna Prakriti, Ashtata. So this Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Vayu. Bhumi means earth. Apo, Anal, Vayu, Kham, Manor, Buddhi, Evacha. Ahankara, iti amme means Ahankara, last Evacha. And then Ahankara also, totally false ego. Binna Prakriti, Ashtata. Binna Prakriti means separated Prakriti. This is another important verse which we come here. And the third, then Krishna is telling, okay, fine, this is there. In this world, do you see only this? Do you see only Jada, which is made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, ego, or just earth, water, fire, air, and ego? Fire, air, and these 5 elements. And no, there is somebody sitting within called a soul. Of course, super soul is also there. We will come to that a little later in very detail. Besides these, O mighty Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind which comprises of living entity who are exploring the resource of this material inferior nature. So here Krishna is saying, Apareyam tatasma itastva anyam prakritim vidyame param jiva bhutam mahabhavo yagedam dharayate jagat. So, this material world, resources of this material world are being exploited. With this time pass. They are just manipulating the matter and taking one thing and keeping another. There will be in the shop, it will come to home, and from home it will go to Dada's house, Nani's house. Then it will go to old paper market, and then it will be destroyed. And then again, that moving things here and there and doing things here and there for nothing. So they are just tampering around the matter. Krishna is telling, they're just playing around the matter or utilizing or exploiting. Simply. There are 2 things. They think that they are exploiting the matter, but actually matter is exploiting them. So apart from this inferior nature, so besides this, so there is something superior, that means Anyam Prakriti, another Prakriti. So another energy. Prakriti means energy. So what is that? Param. It's also belong to Paraha Prakriti, superior. It is not Jada Prakriti. But that is not either internal potency or Krishna. He is talking about Jiva Bhutam. He's talking about living entities. So first he explains non-living entity. So there is a definition of non-living things in this world. And there is a definition of living thing in this world, which is soul. So there is soul and there is body. Not only body, there are so many other things in this world. All created beings have these sources. In this world, whatever you see, it will either be part of any one of the nature. Whatever created being you see in this world, why he is telling created beings? Because when Krishna descends here as avatar, or when his pure devotees come, they are not created beings. They just descend here. Avatara means descending from higher platforms, getting down or climbing down into lower platform, descending. Not only climbing, descending into this platform for a particular purpose. And when the purpose is over, they'll go back. So that is Supreme Lord Krishna and Acharyas and all. So they don't fall into this category. But otherwise, generally, majority of the things which you see in this world, they are on this of this two nature. Of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world. So there are two things, material and spiritual. Know for certain that I am both the origin and the dissolution. So we should not misunderstand. Krishna is the reason for spirit soul, but he is not the master of the matter. Sometimes they think, okay, where can we see Krishna? Oh, you got to go Loka, you will see Krishna. Somebody will crack joke. I've seen some people. So they totally think that there is no Krishna existing in this world, which actually means they're not Krishna conscious. Because here Krishna is telling that both for material and spiritual world, both. I am the origin and reason for I am the origin and I am making the resolution. Dissolution. Know for certain that I am both the origin and the dissolution. So there is no superior truth to me. So there is one more beautiful verse. This is also everything rests among me as pearls are strung on a thread. Like there are many things here. There are material things here. So much material things. And there are many spiritual things, right? What is spiritual? Jivas. So each one of us are a jiva. We are all entangled within a body. I have my own hands, legs, and eyes and nose. You have your own hands, legs, eyes, and nose. Each one is a package by ourselves. But we are able to maintain that individuality within this body, and the body cooperates so well. All this is because actually they won't. Matter and spirit doesn't mix. But we are a package of matter and spirit mixed. How? It's just because even though they are like pearls, there are many pearls are there. If you just throw them on the ground, they'll go hither and thither. Like that. But if you have a thread in which you're making a mala, or just to string it, just string the pearls within the thread, then it will become connected. So who's this connecting thread? Even though you are able to see only the pearls, you are able to see only the mountains, rivers, trees, the road, the houses, like this, and the people's bodies. And then, of course, there are living beings, non-living things, and you see animals and birds. You also see the trees, tables, bench, and all the stones, everything. You're seeing both non-living and living things. But how they cooperate and work with each other, you don't know. That is because Krishna is the connecting point between them, and he is the one. Everything is dependent on him, like the thread. The entire. If you see a pearl mala, then you will understand that it is standing only because of the thread, even though the thread may not be visible. You turn around and look at the world, Krishna is not visible at all. Go. Did you find him? The people who are living in Bangalore or Kolkata or Hyderabad or Mayapur or wherever in the world, does any of you saw Krishna in the road? Of course, we saw Krishna in the road as Jagannath in the deity form, but otherwise, as a personality. So we are not seeing, but actually, he's the reason for everything which is happening. Like in a pearl, if the pearls are staying together, it is because of the thread. So this is another important verse which is in this. Matta parataram nanyet kinchit asti dhananjaya mayi sarvam idam protam sutre manigana iva. This manigana, mani means pearls. So that is a secret. That is a tying thread. Sutre manigana iva. So like this is very famous verse Prabhupada quotes in many places, even in Bhagavatam and all. Protam sutre manigana iva means they're all strung like threads. In a thread, the pearls are strung. They are looking together, even though they are not cannot. Like you and me cannot actually talk to each other. But there is a facility provided with the body and the mouth, and there is something called a ear. I'm talking, you're hearing. Later you talk, I hear. So the facility of communication, the facility of cooperation, even with the matter, the jiva cannot actually cooperate and be there because it's all individual pearls. Everybody is an individual. But they look like collaborating, they look like combined, all because of this beautiful verse where Krishna is telling that I am the thread which is connecting them. So this is also very nice verse. Okay, so quickly I'll give you an explanation of the purports. Already I have read yesterday and taken notes, but still I don't want to miss certain points which may be important, you would have skipped it. That's one type of analytics you did. That will be whatever you took notes, it will not be a waste because it will become part of your closed book, open book exam. Some notes may be useful. Most of the notes will be useful for the closed open book exam because we are discussing these and you can put those points. So kindly preserve all the notes or classwork which I am giving you. Kindly preserve those notes. It will be very easy for you. Whatever question you are getting, you can get at least 20%, 30% points from there. Then only thing is you need to combine that and write it as an essay. Okay. Now, this already we were seeing this sloka on the day before yesterday, and in which we were seeing how we have to learn from spiritual master. We should hear from spiritual master. It's very, very important. So how the bhakti yoga, how to fix that yoginam api sarvesham madgati randaratmana. So how to Shraddhavan, how to become Shraddhavan, how to become such a yogi, the topmost yogi, that is taught by Krishna or is pure devotee. Now here that Krishna is giving Bhagavatam verses, continuous Bhagavatam verses to prove this. So here the Lord is therefore said to Arjuna, Tachruno, hear from me. So you should hear from pure devotee of Krishna. Now, right now, we don't have Krishna personally among us like Arjuna had. So we can hear from the pure devotee Acharya Parampara, which is set by Krishna. Surely not from a non-devotee upstart popped up with academic education. Then he gives a beautiful, continuous 4 or 5 verses from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2, first canto, second chapter. So this is what I said, Srinvatam, it started with hearing. Swakata Krishna, so hearing Krishna Katha, Punya Shravana Kirtanaha. So you have to hear from whom? You have to get it from pure devotees. This is mentioned in the Bhagavatam. When you hear from pure devotee, what will happen? Everything dirty in your heart, it will be destroyed. Hridayantasto, Hridayi means heart. Hridayanta, there are inside the heart there is dirt. Abhadra, Abhadrani, Vidunoti Suhrut Satan. Vidunoti means destroyed and auspiciousness will get established. And then every day you have to do Bhagavata Sevaya, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So in Prabhupada in purport here is explaining in this purport in Bhagavatam, there are 2 kinds of this. Every day we say, no? When you people sit in the Bhagavatam class, can any of you tell what are all the 2 Bhagavatam verses you repeat while during the starting of the Bhagavatam class? One is already here. What is that thing? We've all taken silence
One
about
is,
the...
one is Srinivata.
Okay.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Okay. That is the first verse of Srimad. First line, it's not a verse. Very good. After that, 2 slokas every time we chant.
Yes.
One is Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. One more.
Mukam Karoti Vachalam.
Krishnaya Vasudevaya.
No.
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Yes, very
Naram
good.
Chaiva.
Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. These are the 2 verses from Srimad Bhagavatam every time we recite. So this Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, every day there must be a Bhagavata Sevaya. So what is this Bhagavata? In purport Prabhupada is explaining there are 2 Bhagavatams. One is the book Bhagavatam, another is person Bhagavatam. So when you're not directly serving a pure devotee spiritual master or a Bhagavata, you should actually, but you can serve the Bhagavatam by reading it every day. Of course, you will be following the instruction of a Bhagavata devotee. That means serving him only. But still, So these two things are very, very essential. Reading Bhagavatam every single day, at least one verse, should make it a practice. But here, what is mentioned here is that bhakti will become, when you do that, what will happen? The bhakti will get deeply established as an irrevocable fact within the heart. Naishta, Nishta, Ruchi, Ashakti, Baba, Prema, like that, there are stages of devotion. So that Nishta, first it will start with the Sravanam. Then, of course, there is one, what is that? Shraddha Dhanasya Muniyo. Yeah, sorry, what is that? First, you will invest your faith on a pure devotee. Then, because you like him, you will start serving him. Because you like him, you start serving him, you will start hearing from him. So, when you start hearing from him, then Hridayantastohi Abhadrani, all the dirt in your heart will get washed. When all the dirt in the heart is washed, then the bhakti will get strongly established within the heart. Tato rajas tamo bhavo kama lobha dayaschaye. We saw that the kama is the enemy of the soul, right? So, lobha is greed. So Rajo and Tamo, all this will get destroyed. All will go. What are Rajo, Tamo, Bhavo? Kama, Lobha, Dayaschaye. Chetayete, Cheta means the soul. Anavritam, Stitam, Satve, Prasiddhati. It will become very jubilant because Rajoguna is gone, Tamoguna is gone, and Kama, Lobha is gone. He is situated in a very happy blissfulness. So such a prasanna mano, so in that beautiful mind, in this very fixed up on the Supreme Lord, Bhagavat Bhakti Yoga, that is the Bhagavat Bhakti Yoga. This Bhakti Yoga where it is mentioned. See here, Bhakti Yoga is mentioned. Bhagavat Bhakti Yogate. Because some people may say this Bhakti, that Bhakti, Desha Bhakti, Bhakti or Bhakti. So here it is very clearly mentioned Bhagavat Bhakti Yogataha. Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasta. Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam will automatically get established. Then philosophy, they're all running behind philosophy. Why? Without Krishna. Sometimes you see that such a preaching that there is no Krishna only. They're so scared to tell God's name. But here Krishna is telling everything is strung like a pearls. So only a single pearl you are having in hand. What is the use? When you have multiple pearls, they want a string to get tied up. Same way, Krishna is the reason for everything. So when you separate Krishna, that time the word science is gone. It becomes ignorance. You remove God, you remove Krishna and try to explain a philosophy, thinking it is scientific. Thinking you're talking very high class academic. You're in ignorance and you're a fool. Every single thing is connected with everything. If you see anything which is not connected to Krishna, that is Maya. Maya means illusion. It doesn't exist. So nothing exists without Krishna. As simple as that. This is the crux of the Srimad Bhagavatam. There is a Chatursloki Bhagavatam, which is the seed of Bhagavatam, which was first spoken by the Supreme Lord to Brahma. So the crux, if you see, the entire Bhagavatam declares that there is nothing can exist without Krishna. Nothing can exist. So if you are talking anything without, in the absence of taking away Krishna from the subject and talking, or any godly concept, not touching the concept of God and explaining anything, you're a normal, mundane, materialistic educator who is in ignorance. Simply proud thinking that I'll put Krishna aside, then people will get attracted. So are you attracting them to Krishna or to what? To yourself? You become your followers? What is the purpose? So this is very, very important. Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasta Jayate. So they become liberated. Doing Bhagavat Bhakti, and automatically Lord will establish the Tattva Vijnanam within the heart. Philosophy, that everything will be revealed for a genuine devotee who's really, sincerely, lovingly serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Automatically, the Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam will get established within the heart and he will be liberated. Mukta Sangascha Jayate. He become liberated. Despite living the material world, he will be liberated. So what happens? Vidyate Hriday Gantis. Karma. Whatever karma he has, Sarva Samshayaha. All doubts will be cleared. There's no more doubt. It's an enlivened soul. And then Vidyate Hriday Granthis. Every knot in the heart is all cut. Drishtayevat Manishware means he will see himself and he will see Krishna. See, this is very, very important. So to hear about Krishna from the Vedic literatures or hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita, it itself is a righteous act. So all starts from hearing. And when and investing faith. There are two things, hearing and investing faith. I cannot challenge Prabhupada. Sometimes people argue on what Prabhupada has written. So they won't be revealed. Why? Why not? Why can't I? The reason is, first, the authority of Srila Prabhupada is proven. He is coming in Acharya Parampara. He is coming as a descended soul. And the knowledge also is not coming Aroha. It's coming from Avaroha. In the descended, in the fruit is taken without disturbance. Coming in the tree is coming in the Acharya Parampara. We don't have information of the spiritual world. We have information only about the material world. Even material world, we are not able to perceive. We have 4 defects. All these things are told that we cannot understand spirituality with our mind, intelligence, ego, senses. We cannot understand. And when a transcendental Paramahamsa comes and he is explaining about the spiritual world, then you challenging with your logic and argument and questioning him. Then what happens here? What is the relationship? The relationship when we question Acharya's final conclusion, especially Srila Prabhupada and all, you are missing on the point who will be revealed the truth. Now Prabhupada want to reveal the truth. But how are you approaching? You're approaching in a challenging spirit. Challenging the concepts. Prabhupada will clarify it. Yes. Is he capable? Yes, he is very expert. He will clarify. There is concept to clarify. Because one who knows Krishna knows everything. One who doing devotional service, he know the conclusion. You're on the surface level, you may be jumping like a monkey. But the deep water fish, it knows every nook and corner of the ocean. And you may ask, you know this, you know that, you know this, you know that. But the deep water fish knows it. But still it's not jumping like monkey. So what is happening here? That Shraddha is missing. But it is mentioned by Krishna, Tatviti Pranipadena, Pariprashnena Sevaya, approach a spiritual master, be submissive, humbly serve, and then inquire. Then the self-realized soul will impart that knowledge unto you, being pleased. So we miss on this point of that self-realized soul imparting, because we are not approaching with the humble state of mind or acceptance, rather with a challenging spirit. So Prabhupada's conclusions are never questionable. The authority of Prabhupada is very clearly established as the Acharya of the unbroken chain of disciplic succession coming from Brahmamadma Gaudiya Sampradaya. So like this. So this is the correct way to hear from such souls. And from one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling within everybody's heart, acts as the best well-wishing friend and purifies the devotee. So who is cleaning that heart? We saw that there is a cleaning of the heart. Hridayantastohi abhadrani vidinoti sugritsatam. So who is doing this, That's Paramatma sitting within the heart. Understand that this boy started, or boy or girl or soul, living entity, anybody, even it can be a deer, like Jadabarada sitting in some Muni Rishi ashram. I made a mistake, I live in the Muni, and sitting there as a deer, a forest deer, sitting there and listening. Still they can be sincerely listening to a pure devotee. So what will happen? The Supreme Lord, when the person hears from Krishna, about Krishna from pure devotee has Krishna in the heart. Through his speech, Krishna will come out as an incarnation and he will enter into the ear of the hearer and get established within the heart. So Paramatma knows, this guy he start hearing from some pure devotee, then Krishna is going to come, I have to clean the temple. So Paramatma immediately will clean the heart. That is why when we first take up Krishna consciousness, get to know information from nobody but only Prabhupada. Whichever Prabhuji, whichever Mataji, even me as a Mataji, I'm telling, 100% only from Prabhupada book. Sometimes may not be from the same book. Here and there I've read many books, so I may pick up things and patch it up and show you the picture, bigger picture. But its source is Prabhupada's book only. Nobody out of the blue came into the social media, internet and became very viral. They're just holding Prabhupada's information and becoming viral. So overall idea we are hearing really from Srila Prabhupada, if it's a direct message without interpretation, then certainly Paramatma knows that, oh, he started hearing Prabhupada, he started hearing about pure devotees, pure devotional service, about Krishna. Then Krishna is going to enter right now into the heart. So I need to clean and keep the heart as a temple. So Lord is cleaning. Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everybody's heart, that's nobody but Paramatma, acts as a best well-wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing him. In this way, the devotee naturally develops the dormant transcendental knowledge as he hears more about Krishna from Bhagavatam and from the devotees. He becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. So we say Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So whatever explanation I gave, the same is that. By development of devotional service, one becomes freed from the mode of passion and ignorance. Thus, material lust and avarice is diminished. When these impurities, so we saw lust, greed, lust and this kama lobha, the SGA, we saw tado, rajas, tamo, bhavo, kama, all these things are gone. Become enlivened by devotional service, understand the signs of God perfectly. Thus, Bhakti Yoga serves as a hard knot of material affection and enables one to come out of the stage of Ashamshayam Samagram, understanding that the Supreme Absolute Personality of Godhead. So we can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead through this process. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or his devotee in Krishna consciousness, one can understand signs of Krishna. Clearly declared. People now also jump by taking Bhagavad Gita, read karo. No. It is Prabhupada's purport which is making you understand Bhagavad Gita. If you read only the sloka, you will not understand anything. Sometimes people say that, Mataji, I'll read only the translation, so I'll finish very soon, at least once, and then I'll go to the purport. Otherwise, I'm not able to finish the purport. I said, no, even if you don't finish the book, that's all right. But you read along with purport. But once at least you have read completely with purport, later if you want, you can go to know the storyline, you can read only the translation. Later 1 or 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, read with purport. But I'm very sure even after 3 or 4 times you have read, hearing from Prabhupada is essential, and we can hear from Prabhupada in the purports. Purports are not just books. Like in the school book, as soon as we see the book, we fall asleep. Prabhupada is talking to us, sitting there and talking to us in his purports. So it is like hearing from Prabhupada only. So once you have heard it and then you hear only translation, then also you will have doubts. But when you read the purport, then the doubt is gone. So only by hearing it is possible the signs of Krishna can be understood. Now directly from Krishna you cannot hear because he's not available here. He has left Bhagavad Gita for us. But even that Bhagavad Gita, only sloka verses you read, you won't understand anything, even translation. When you read Prabhupada's purport only, you understand. So we have to hear from pure devotee. Okay. And then the next verse, I shall now declare. So I'll see. Jnanam teham. Did you read the sloka also yesterday? All of you? Did you repeat?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. So no need of repetition for you now. Jnanam teham savijnanam idam vakshyami asheshatah yajnatva neha bhuyonjya jnatvayam avashishyate. I shall now declare unto you in full knowledge both phenomenal and numinous. This being known, nothing further shall remain for you to know. So here there are two things. The one which you can see, the phenomenal world. The phenomenal, generally the world talks about the world which you can see. And there is a source which you cannot see also. So complete knowledge includes knowledge of the phenomenal world, the spirit behind it, the source of them both. This is transcendental knowledge. So you just don't believe whatever you see only. There is something beyond what you see. Many examples can be given. Like if the fan is running in your room, that the fan is going on. So you know that there is a switch and there is a wire connection, and when somebody switches on, it is getting switched on. When somebody switches off, it stops. It's not fan is automatically operating. Same way we see sun and moon. The sun and moon are not automatically operating. There is a switch operator. And there's a person who designed it, who put it there. like the fan, somebody who made it in manufacturing, and then they came it to the market, and then from the market we got it, and then the electrician fixed it. And then I am the one every day switching on and switching off. But so many people are involved in creation. Right? And when it becomes older, wither away, I may throw it into the recycler. And that also there is a place of destruction. Then it will go there. So it's not eternally the fan is there and I am coming and automatically it is switching on and off. No, not like that. Same way, the sun and the moon and the stars in the sky and whatever you see around you, everything, whatever manifestation in the world, there is a spirit behind it. And it's the source of both spiritual and material. So the Lord wants to explain the above mentioned system of knowledge because Arjuna and Krishna's devotee and friend. This is the qualification. With a challenging spirit, you cannot learn from the author. I don't like the author. I don't like you, but still tell. Okay, tell me. So what? Tell me. If somebody is getting irritated from what we speak, then we don't like to speak to them. Same way, when Supreme Lord tried to speak, and if a person is having doubt about the supremacy of the Lord or the concepts, in that case, why will he reveal the truth? He will not reveal, right? So, same way, the friend being a friend and the devotee, we already saw what is the qualification for learning Bhagavad Gita. In the first chapter, Krishna is telling, I am explaining the supreme truth unto you. It's a very, very converting lust into love. This is a very great truth, a very big secret. The living entity, when it fell from spiritual world, it initially had love. Basically, it has love. But when it comes into the world and mixes with Rajoguna, then the love turns into lust. Now Krishna is explaining a concept in third chapter, how the lust can be converted back into love. Such a wonderful concept. So that he telling it is secret, I am telling the secret of Buddhi Yoga to you is because your friend and my devotee. That is the, so in the beginning of the fourth chapter, this explanation is given by the Lord. So can anyone of you tell what is the beginning of the fourth chapter? Beginning section, do you remember? Don't go and refer, just don't Google
The
it.
history of Bhagavad Gita.
Very good. So it's all Acharya Parampara, right? And also Bhakto Sime Saha Cheti Rahasyam Edatuttamam. And complete knowledge can be achieved only by the disciplic succession. What is the history of Bhagavad Gita? Is nothing but Acharya Parampara. Evam Parampara Praptam Imam Rajarsiyo Vidhu. Sakale Neha Mahata Yoga Nashta Parantapa. That is what he's telling. Therefore, one should be intelligent enough to know the source of all knowledge, who is the cause of all causes and only object of meditation. Therefore, he should know, we should be intelligent. So what is our intelligence? We should know who is the source of knowledge. People think that actually intelligent people will talk without Krishna. But here it is mentioned, whatever knowledge you have, go to the source. And who is the source of all knowledge is Krishna. And who is the cause of all causes? He is also Krishna. And the only object of meditation in any yoga practice, the Lord has to be meditated, not any object can be meditated. Sometimes when we go to yoga classes, they do the yoga, all the exercises, everything, just to keep the blood circulation and bodily movements proper, right? Because actually a yogi will sit for many hours, 7 hours, 10 hours, and 21 hours, 1 week, 10 days for meditation. He won't get up for eating, sleeping, anything. He won't get up. So his bodily limbs will get struck. So he will do the yoga practices before going to the meditation, because he's not eating, metabolic activities will still go on the strength of that fitness of the body. So the fitness of the body is not for sense gratification. Now the material world, everybody is doing yoga. Why? In order to eat properly, sleep properly, and enjoy material life. So the process which is given for freeing oneself for meditating on the Supreme is used as a everyday householder just to have a sense gratification life. Irony of thing is this. Who is the cause of all causes is only object of meditation in all type of yoga practice is Supreme Lord. Okay. When the cause of all causes becomes known, then everything knowable becomes. So when will you know? People say that very, very simple. If you know Krishna, you need to know Krishna properly. Not just like that. Yes, I also know Krishna. Who is he? He is also God. One of the God, Hindu God. Sanatan Dharma God, like this. Varnashrama Dharma God, Indian God, Hindu God, or a great person, like that. Not like that. Properly, one should know. So the cause of one becomes everything will be known to him and nothing remains unknown. So if you know Krishna, you know everything. That we can very easily find out a new devotee who is coming to ISKCON and he started chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra properly, and his wisdom will be so good, even 1 or 2 months. His wisdom will be so good. He would have heard only 1 or 2 months Bhagavatam classes and roamed around in the temple. But when you talk to the person, he will talk far more better than any big yogi jnani roaming in the street. They can't even give a meaningful answer for a genuine question. So, but ordinary devotee will do. A new devotee just came and walked in newly. He can give better answers. So, this is the speciality. So, everything he will know. Complete knowledge is given to him. And all success only by approaching a spiritual master, hearing, or pure devotee. Typically, it's mentioned here pure devotee sometimes, and per fourth chapter Prabhupada is quoting Evam Parampara Praptam. Very, very clear. Again and again, it comes back to spiritual master, pure devotee, spiritual master, pure devotee. Krishna, again and again, every chapter. It's not that sometimes people think that, okay, Mataji Prabhuji always talk like you have to approach Guru, Guru. No, this is what we understood after reading this many books many times. All Srila Prabhupada's books, not so many other books outside. No outside book, only Srila Prabhupada's. The conclusion is so clear in almost every other purport. Prabhupada is mentioning this. It is true. Some people ask, is Diksha Guru required? Only Siksha Guru is enough? Is the initiation required? It's a pathetic question. And we feel so bad for them because one thing we can say is they have never read Bhagavad Gita. I will be shocked. It is clear like sunlight in the purport. Can there be a better purport than this? Approaching spirit. So, fourth chapter of Bhagavad, the beginning of the fourth chapter, this is explained. So, all the confidential knowledge is express system of knowledge because Arjuna is confidential friend and devotee, and complete knowledge can be achieved. Here, the complete knowledge can be achieved only by of the devotee, achieved only by the devotee of the Lord, disciplic succession directly from the Lord. So, how will you connect to the disciplic succession? Formally. You also should become part of disciplic succession. Connect with the chain of parampara to receive the mercy. It's so simple and straightforward. Simply an initiation. Oh, anyway, Mataji, I'm chanting 16 rounds. Anyway, I'm following 4 regulative principles. What is the need for taking initiation? Anyway, I'll go to Goloka. You assume you go to Goloka, you go. Now the process is given. Why? It's okay. You're doing everything properly. Why can't you just formally enroll yourself into the system? Commit. We are living together. We are almost like married only, but we are living together. Is there a difference between living together and marriage? Yes, it is. So the initiation is like a marriage, and the so-called roaming around Siksha Guru, this and that, all these are like living together. It is generally unauthorized in the cultured society. So there is a commitment which you need to give. Then you will get the knowledge. Some people who are not initiated, but they will ask, how can I do this? You cannot do anything, go. You don't have Guru's mercy, you don't have anything. You have not taken shelter, not taken initiation for many years, 5 years, 10 years. And you still want to gain from outside. People say, no, I support that party from outside. I support from outside. Which actually means I don't support. I want to be a free bird. I don't want to commit anything. I don't even go and meet the spiritual master. I hesitate to meet the spiritual master. Right? Then, but I just want to know. Sorry, it will not be revealed. I am not telling. Krishna is telling. Krishna is telling. You are missing the whole point. Complete knowledge can be achieved only by the devotee of the Lord in disciplic succession directly from the Lord. Therefore, one should intelligent enough to know the source of knowledge, which is the cause. So you need to go and approach a spiritual master. Certainly. There is no second thought. As simple as that. So there are various. So next is the 1,000 among 1,000. Very, very famous verse. I think it's one of the memory verse also for you. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschidhyatati sittaye yatataamapi siddhanam kastin me mam veti tattvataha. So there are many grades of men. We know that generally this teachings of Lord Chaitanya, there is something called Chaitanya Sikshamrita. There also beautifully gradation of the people are given. From animal, birds, and living entities, there are 84 lakh species, in which first he enters into human variety, will be totally uncultured, like tribes in the forest or whatever it is, even man eaters like that. Very, very low class beings who are not totally into any culture. Then they come into the civil society, and in that below Sudra are there, like Chandalas and all, dog eaters, Chandalas. And above them is the Varnashrama Dharma people, where it starts from Sudra and then Vaishya. The higher than is not higher, the developed consciousness is Kshatriya, and then the Brahmanas, and then the developed consciousness further goes into transcendentalists to break beyond the materialistic system of Varnashrama and enter into seeking for spirituality called yogis. In that Yoga Ruda, Yoga Rurukshu, and then comes Yoga Ruda, and in that we see that we see there are different yogas like Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Karma Yoga is without expecting any fruitive activities in the Varnashrama system itself, offering everything to Vishnu. And that is very, very rare to find such people. Generally, people get into some fruit. And then higher than that is very low level. And from that comes into Jnana Yoga, then Ashtanga Siddhi Yoga, and then where some Paramatma is being approached. Then comes Bhakti Yoga. And in Bhakti Yoga, Adav Shraddha, Tada Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, there also we see Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, Uttama Adhikari. There is gradation. It's all a staircase going up and up and up. There are various levels of development of spirituality. In Bhakti Yoga itself, there are many, many steps. Then Bhava, Prema, and then Mahabhava. Many, many stages are there. So in that Bhava, we have there also Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. In that Mahabhava, all these are there. So generally mankind is very, here that gradation is given. Among thousands, one person may become searching for spirituality. Among such searching for spirituality of, they may practice spirituality in thousands. And in that thousands who are practicing spirituality either as a yogi or a jnani or a bhakta, any one, in that one will be a bhakta. And amongst those bhaktas practices, any one will achieve, know Krishna full, and another such person who knows like that will achieve perfection like that. So you see the percentage among thousands. So here, various grades of men out of many thousands, one may be sufficiently interested in transcendental realization to try to know what is the self. What is the self, what is the body, and what is the absolute truth. So three things we already saw. There is one verse we will see next verse is Bhumi Appi Appor Analo Vayu Kammanor Buddhi Revacha. So what is matter? What is body made up of? Matter. And what is self? Amai Vamso Jiva Loke Jiva. We will see that out here. And we'll also see that here the person is, the self is spirit soul. Beyond this body is a spirit soul. And what is absolute truth? That is Krishna. Manigana Iva. He is the one who's connecting. And we'll see so much beautiful characteristics of absolute in the coming chapters. The detailed explanation about Krishna. So generally mankind is simply engaged in animal propensities. Starting, here is the first step. Eating, mating, sleeping and defending. Hardly anyone is interested in transcendental knowledge. Okay. The first 6 chapters of Gita are meant for those who are interested in transcendental knowledge, in understanding the self, the super self, and the process of realization by Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and discrimination of self from matter. The first 6 chapters doesn't exclusively say how to connect with God, even though it gives a way to live in a liberated way within the material world, but it doesn't specifically say. But now only, and so there is a portion of Jnana Yoga there, there's a portion of Dhyana Yoga there. But here, however, now Krishna is taking us into further level, higher step. Over Krishna consciousness, understanding proper Krishna consciousness. So Krishna can be known only by persons. Other transcendentalists may achieve impersonal Brahman realization. For this is easier than understanding Krishna. Everybody in India, if you see, many of them are into this process. Whereas Krishna is the supreme person, but at the same time is beyond the knowledge of Brahman and Paramatma. Very, very far away, advanced is the knowledge of Krishna. But if you see the spiritual people, they show themselves, post themselves as a great spiritual people and proud, just because they are leaving everything in the world and going as a spiritual person and enduring for Brahman and Paramatma. So the yogis and jnanis are confused in their attempts to understand Krishna. So they are confused in their attempts to understand Krishna. Although the greatest impersonalist Sripad Sankaracharya has admitted Gita commentary that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, he is telling Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam, Govindam Bhajamudamate, Samrate, Sannitite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dikrang Karane. He is telling Sankaracharya is the one who declared impersonalist aspect of Krishna so widely spread, but still he admitted in his Gita commentary that Eka Ishvara Krishna. There is only one Grantha book required, that is Bhagavad Gita. There's only one God, and that is Krishna. This is the song sung by Sankaracharya. So in the Gita Mahatmya, sorry, what is that? I think Gita Mahatmya, that verse, a song about glorifying Bhagavad Gita, Sankaracharya has written a poem. Eko Geetam Devaki Putra Geetam. That there is only one God, that is Krishna. There is only one song or book, that is Bhagavad Gita, and only one work we have. Karma bhi ekam tasya namani seva. Tasya, only one service is there, that is serving Krishna. Sankaracharya also has written. So the followers do not accept Krishna as such. His followers, it's very difficult. They are into impersonal Brahman realization, Sankaracharya's followers. But Krishna is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhupada is revealing to us because we are following him, we are reading his purport. So sweetly, the Krishna is being revealed here. In Bhagavad Gita, till now, the topic about the detailed explanation of Krishna is not there. So now only in the 7th chapter, we are starting the Bhakti Yoga process, in which first introduction of Krishna is happening. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Point number 1. He is the cause of causes, primal Lord Govinda. So this is Brahma Samhita. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satsidananda Vigraha Anadiradi Govinda. Very famous verse, which is to quote that the supremacy of Krishna, declared directly by Brahma. The best evidence, number 1 evidence, to prove that Krishna has a form and he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Oh, so many things. And his body is not material, it is Sachidananda. So many things you can prove about the supremacy of the Lord. Break the Mayavadi philosophy only with the single first verse of Brahma Samhita. So, but generally for a non-devotee, very, very difficult to know Krishna also on the path of bhakti or devotional services. Actually speaking, so they say that the non-devotee, what they say is, see, what is bhakti is so easy. So they will make fun of us because we are just doing bhakti in a very simple way. They may think us low and they think themselves very proud and proud. That we can see when you replay that Kumbh Mela video, you see the top sannyasis or Swamijis, they come. They are so proud in the way they enter with the crowd and everything. They take bath, and the devotees seem very, very simple. And generally, those kind of transcendentalists who live in forest and all, they think that what is their bhakti? Such a easy process. So if it's an easy process, why can't you practice? They cannot practice because it's easy. They want a complex process. Of course, many name, fame, glory, followers, everything will come now when you do something complex. But the easy, just because it's an easy process doesn't mean it's not powerful process. It may be very powerful process. So if the path of bhakti is so easy as a non-devotee class of proclaim, even people say that what you people are simply chanting Hare Krishna. You're wearing chapel and chanting Hare Krishna. You're sitting in the sofa or bed and chanting Hare Krishna. Don't you think it is wrong? You should do with concentration. You should do in the puja room. So the person, whoever is commenting, you see their background, how many times they have chanted. In a day, how much they have chanted. Okay, leave it. In a week, whoever commenting, non-devotee who's commenting on us, 1 month he has chanted one round? No. 1 year he has thought about God? No. There is absolutely God is missing in their life, but they give a comment on how we should practice. This is a comedy. So if a path of bhakti is so easy, then as a non-devotee class of men proclaim that it's so easy, then why do they take up the difficult path? Huh? Actually, the path of bhakti is not easy. The so-called path of bhakti practiced by unauthorized person without knowledge of bhakti may be easy. Sometimes you see sentimental people. Sometimes they call Krishna, Lala, Mera, like this. But they are so materially entangled, not interested in chanting, not interested in coming to our temples, hearing Bhagavatam classes, serving the beautiful deities established by pure devotees in the temple. They just sit in their place and they claim it's so easy like that. They don't have any of that and they claim themselves to be bhakti. But when it is practiced factually, according to the rules and regulations, and they personally, they really don't want to follow any rules and regulations. This is the best part of it. They don't like to stop meat eating, gambling, illicit sex, intoxication, or the regular onion, garlic, or whatever, and offering to Krishna, forget it. They say that in our house also we have Gopal. Okay, then how much do you worship? No, every day we give some milk and some fruits. I do puja every day, 1 hour. All the slokas, starting from Hanuman Chalisa, this sloka, that sloka, Durga Stuti, everything they tell, all 9 Navagraha Stuti, this, that, and all so much they say. Krishna is not primary, sometimes Krishna is missing in the such pujas. But they say we are also bhaktas. But they don't, but they will fry the fish in the kitchen. So yesterday or day before, 2 days back, I had a get together with some very nice traditional ladies who are interested in Krishna consciousness and chanting. So I suddenly thought how nice that they are just sitting in some villages and they have become devotees and they are offering to Krishna every day. They are offering to Krishna. So Prabhupada is telling in one of the purport in Bhagavatam that only Lakshmi can cook for Krishna, for Narayana. Everybody cannot cook. Only Lakshmi can cook. In spiritual world also, Lakshmi is cooking for Krishna and Radharani is cooking for Krishna. Lakshmi is cooking for Narayana. Like that. So in our homes, Srila Prabhupada has made that we are cooking for Krishna. So these ladies are cooking for Krishna, Prabhupada is telling, then they are also Lakshmis. He's telling. So it's so nice. So sometimes when a daughter-in-law comes, they say that have the Lakshmi come, or a girl child is born, is a Lakshmi born. They'll say that the girls are Lakshmis of the home. So I just suddenly I got a vision that the Lakshmi will offer to the Supreme Lord, and our family ladies are supposed to be dignifiedly kept as Lakshmis. But the sense gratificatory husbands who have married them, they are asking, give me a fish fry or some chicken. So they are holding the hen in the hand, and in one hand they are having a knife and cutting the neck of the hen. Will Lakshmi do that? How can you say that my wife is the Lakshmi of my home? They are Bhuta Preta like that of your home. They are not, they become Rakshasi then. Because they are not serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are serving the so-called tongue of yours, nonsense tongue of a person who is interested in blood of animals. So you're Rakshasa and Rakshasi. How can you call it Lakshmi and all that words? Very casually they will use the word Lakshmi and all. So this is not possible. So here, when practice according to rules and regulation, materialistic people really doesn't want to follow. So they comment very casually about us. Okay, follow and show me. You think we are not so good, and then do it for 1 month. Chant 16 rounds and follow for regulative principle, at least for 1 month, and show us. Very difficult for one day also for them. But they comment that this bhakti is very easy. So Srila Rupa Goswami writes in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, if somebody is practicing devotion without following Shruti and Smriti, it is a disturbance for the society. Shruti Smriti Puranadi Panjaratrika Vidimbina Aikantika Harer Bhaktir Utpadayeteva Kalpate. So devotional service to the Lord that ignores the authorized version of the Vedic literatures like Upanishad Puranas are simply unnecessary disturbance in the society. So many people claim themselves to be devotees without following. One time we had a tulsi at home, very nice tulsi. So we were living in a nice a flat kind of thing, and in which we had for our home alone there is a beautiful front courtyard. So we had made a small tulsi home, and in which we had put a tulsi. One fine day I came, and I saw that the tulsi was becoming dry. I saw what happened. So there is one somebody living in another apartment. They have come and they have put all kumkum. They have done puja, and very heavy bangle. They are dangling in the branches of Tulsi Maharani. And what they did in the name of kumkum, they don't put kumkum. Kumkum is really a nice thing. It's coming from a plant. It's a flower, keshar. You know that you'll use for the payash and all that. Saffron, that the kumkum has to be prepared from that, but actually what they have done, color powder, red color powder all over. So it's simply a disturbance, that they're not following the scriptures, and just they are practicing devotion. That is why we require acharya parampara institution to guide us properly. So what we go to the temple regularly, we see the arati and everything, we also become interested to do that. We do in a small way at home. At home there is always adjustments. Lord is accepting the adjustment for a grahastha because he is taking better responsibility in the society. But for others, there is no compromise of standards. But for us, it is. For grahasthas, it is. So this is very important to learn properly. So it is not possible for Brahman realized impersonalist, Paramarma realized yogi to understand Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, son of Yashodanandana or the Parthasarathi. Like this understanding is very difficult for them, yogis and jnanis. So even the great demigods are sometimes confused about Krishna. No one will know me. Even great demigods, they don't know Krishna. Even you see that Indra, he put so much rain on Vrindavana. And even Brahma, he came and stole the calves and the gopas just to test whether it's Krishna or not, whether he's really Supreme Personality of Godhead or not. It's very durlabha. So unless one is practicing, very rare to see such people who's practicing, unless one practices devotional service of the Lord, one cannot know the Lord in tattva, even though one is a great scholar of philosophy. So sometimes we see that people talk many philosophy, but one has to practice devotional service to the Lord. This is very essential. So only the pure devotee can know something in inconceivable and transcendental qualities of Krishna. Krishna is the cause of all causes. So Paramatma is also Krishna's plenary expansion, and Brahman also, he's the last word of the Brahman realization also. So in Brahman realization, what is better, what is more, what is more, what is more, you go, then at last you'll end up with Krishna. There is nothing more to know. Yes, you said absolute truth, the supreme absolute truth, not just absolute truth, supreme absolute. So he is the last word, even in Brahman realization, ends in Krishna. So devotees alone can realize him like that. So Krishna and his name, at a very nice verse, at Sri Krishna Namadi, na bhavet grahyamindriya sevan mukhehi jivhadu swayam eva spratata. So here, no one can understand Krishna with this senses. Now we are having some senses in the body. With that, we cannot understand Krishna unless he reveals himself to the devotees. Transcend loving service unto him, Jivhado is very famous verse and nice verse. This is also your Magap Sloka. Maybe you can do it now. With the meaning, you can do it now. So that it can be counted for your nectar of devotion. Because in nectar of devotion, there is no verses. So this you can take it and mug it up and put. So NOD, Jivesh, sorry, Jagannath Prabhu, kindly mark this as NOD for memory verse 1. Okay, like that,
Okay.
you mark it to this. And all of you should also mug up this when you're doing the 7th chapter itself. You finish it. Okay, so here the most important is Ata Sri Krishna Nama Adi. Nama Adi means starting with the name. Krishna's name, Sri Krishna's name, Ata Sri Krishna Nama Adi, starting from name, goes form, qualities, and pastimes. Name, qualities, the form, the name, form, qualities, and pastimes, entourage, everything put together is Krishna. So starting with the name, which is Shravanam Kirtanam, also starting with the name only chanting. So Atasri Krishna Nama Adi, so Krishna is not different from the name. But can you see him? You're not able to see him. You're serving the deities. Can you see personally Krishna coming out and sitting talking to you? No. Why? Because Atasri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahyam indriya. With your jada indriya, you cannot actually see Krishna. Na bhavet grahyam, you cannot absorb or see Krishna. But there is a possibility. Sevan mukehi jivado, you have to involve in devotional service. So what is devotional service? Is 9 process of devotional service, starting with Sravanam Kirtanam like this. But it starts with chanting. Now, recommendation given here is Jiva means tongue. So you should serve all the limbs you should serve, but primarily the Sevan Mukha, the methodology of serving should be Jivha. Jivha means the tongue. So there are 2 things the tongue will do, eating prasadam and chanting Hare Krishna. So these 2 are the primary things. Swayam eva spuratada. So Krishna himself will show himself. Krishna will reveal himself. Because he is pleased with this loving, transcendental loving service to him. So Atasri Krishna Namavdi, with material senses we cannot perceive Krishna, but starting with serving in the Jiva, Swayam means automatically he himself, eva spuratada. He will reveal himself. Okay, let us stop here. We can see the next chapters tomorrow, next verses. Any questions or comments?
Comments? Yes, I want to say something.
Yes.
So it's just a funny part. When you ask the shloka while reading the Bhagavatam, I was not remembering it. So I was going to Google it, but at the exact moment you said don't Google it. I was wondering if my camera is on or not. Something in that.
I also came from your background only.
So I laughed.
That is because once upon a time I was you. So I know what you'll do. Most of us do that, no? See, even when you people speak something, you're all youth mostly. I have retired from my active material life, where I was updated with everything. So now when somebody quotes something to me, I immediately Google it to find out so that we get updated. Now, what I say is we need not keep in memory actually everything. But I feel there are 2 things. One is knowledge and another is understanding. Okay. The question is not about memory. So testing about memory happened in the previous generations. But now memory is there in the computer. It's in the internet. So you can collect information from the internet. But your personal upskilling yourself with the clear understanding of the subject has to happen from you. That cannot. So maximum, I'll say, even I don't appreciate closed book exams and all that, but I certainly would like to test the understanding. That memory recall is for the youth and everything. As we become older, we cannot remember so much and all. So I think the academic education and the education is not very fair, where a person who has very good memory of mugging up everything and going and vomiting in the exam becomes first rank holder. Whereas even in my college, I still remember one boy, the name was Srinivasan, and he will fail in 1 or 2 subjects and have arrear and all because he's not too good in English because everything is in English. So, but he had his own electronic lab in his home, and he created that morph radio. He used to repair the TVs, and we were electronic engineering people, hardly newcomers, first year, second year. And he was doing so many things, reading some magazines and things, he trying, and it all worked. And he used to fail. And we people, we 3, 4 girls are there, first rank, second rank, third rank, fourth rank, always we are in the top. But mug up and come. This diagram is there. There is a dabba here. There is a circle here, like that. So just mug up and vomit. And after exam, if somebody asks, I don't know. But if you see that boy, he really understood the thing and he really manifesting things there. But he's not valued in the society. He will be declared as you don't have a degree or whatever. But we mug it up and people value. But I feel this is not the way it should be. So the Google can do it. You can Google it. What is wrong in Googling? But when it's an exercise or a quiz where we are making it interesting, we would like to hear directly from you from your understanding, not information. So that is the difference. So I want all of you to understand. See, when there is an information exam, you all passed very nicely. Chapter wise, there was one exam. So easily you all passed. Then I kept one understanding based question. Then you all, I liked this is the way I feel it should be this much tough. Then you will understand, okay, I need to really listen and understand the subject properly. Otherwise, just somehow finish the exam and get the degree and go. The attitude all of us have, including me. When I did my school, college, I was like this. Sometimes when people put forcefully some education into us, then we do that. So I seriously feel this should not be such a forceful education. It's a relishing education. Like if you ask me, I'm without referring book, I'm automatically telling, right? I want all of you to become like that. Anybody ask any question, you should be able to answer nicely, clearly, without any deviation from scriptures, simply patchifying. Take the patch up. If there is a torn cloth, you patch up here, there, like that. So tell some answer and shut his mouth. Not like that. You should originally tell the Acharya Parampara is watching us. Krishna's hearing is there in every atom. He's watching our actions. And when we stick back to the scriptures, he's so pleased when I quote from Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is very, very pleased. Because, hey, that is my Bhagavad Gita, this lady is quoting. Like that. So we should become dear to Krishna. We should become conscious of the Lord living with us. That's called Krishna consciousness. Become aware. Like if there is a 24-hour CCTV camera around you, monitoring all your activity, your mobile activity, everything. Better to become friendly with that camera. It's not camera whose Krishna is, but Krishna is conscious of all living entities. Only we are not conscious of him. But he is conscious of all living entities. Having this information in mind itself will make us love Krishna. So when you start loving Krishna and acting in that way, then you can feel the reciprocations which are coming. That's what I used to say. If a living entity is loving another living entity, a boyfriend and a girlfriend. So if a person is one side love many in all my college mates, everybody in our, the people say 90s kids. We are all even before 80s kids we were. So then everybody, I like the girl, but the girl doesn't know at all throughout the life. You have to go and explicitly say, and this guy is so scared to do it, and that's all finished. But that girl didn't even know she existed and she did. So one living entity is trying to communicate through mind to another living entity and expressing something, but the other living entity doesn't even know. For example, you are liking Dhoni. I won't say Tendulkar, that's an old thing. Okay, I like Dhoni very much, and you're keeping posters. Not you, some ex is keeping posters, and he's thinking, Dhoni, how are you? Dhoni won't hear the sound, how are you? Dhoni, I love you. He won't hear. He won't even know there is a fan ready to do anything for him. He won't even know. He's totally ignorant in science. I'm talking about science. But when I do the same to Krishna, or to Prabhupada, or to Guru Maharaj, or to the deities whom I personally seen, they know and they hear and they reciprocate, and they are simultaneously able to do this with so many souls. So this is Krishna conscious. Become conscious of a person who is already conscious of you. Krishna is conscious of all spiritual and material creation. We saw just now in the first paragraph, we saw Krishna is conscious of material and spiritual people. And how lucky we are, Krishna is conscious of me. Oh my God. If I think about Krishna, Krishna knows. How nice it will be. I can think so beautifully now. I will think so many things in loving affection to Krishna. Let him know. Is it not? How wonderful is this? Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Okay. 5, 4. Who's that?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Okay,
Mataji,
no more questions. Yeah, you have question, Navneet?
just one question, Mataji.
Yes.
Uh, I mean, in this chapter, we are saying that Bhakti Yoga is not so easy and it's difficult.
Yes.
And in the previous chapter, when comparing with the yogis and different kind of yogis, like how we can fix the mind and control the mind and but everything that we are speaking, we said that Bhakti Yoga is easier than that yoga system. So
Very nice.
are we trying to say that
Very
Bhakti
good
Yoga
question.
is
Conflicting.
yeah.
There is a contradiction between that and this. Very, very, very good question. Prabhupada tells the word, a single sentence, simplicity is Vaishnavism. So a person who's too complicated, simplicity is difficult. Bowing down sometime when I newly came to Krishna consciousness, we are a group of people who became, like me and Prabhu first became, and then all our office colleagues and team members, we made them devotees. We were not even initiated, but we were pulling everybody into this. That time we used to have hot arguments. That time they used to say that, I know, okay, Krishna is there, he's God, I can approach him. Why I require spiritual master? Why there's a person in between me and God? So this accepting the spiritual master, it's not difficult in the activity sense, like a yogi going and leaving the family, sitting in a forest without any proper water and food, and no proper dress. There is wind and rain, there is no shelter. Physically he's standing upside down, and so many exercises. These are all really difficult process. Very difficult. Jnani also analyzing the complex Tarka Vada. They do so much discussion, dry philosophy and all. Really physically, otherwise. Blissful process is bhakti, it is true. But actually, for a person with lot of ego and the complications of the heart, it is said as Hriday Daurbalyam. We saw, no, not Hriday Daurbalyam, Hriday Granthi. You see, no, the complexity such that bowing down to another person, asking sorry, or being humbling oneself to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that becomes complex for a soul which has developed very. So the complex part is being simple. The complex part is Vaishnavism is simplicity, but being simple is difficult. Being simply going around Tulasi and considering it as a great activity is difficult. Whereas going to the Himalayas and doing tapasya looks great, is it not? So the complex people, this Krishna consciousness is very difficult. It's difficult. Bowing down to the spiritual master. Here you can see in the pictures Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. So Guru Maharaj is from a very rich family. Prabhupada is a simple retired man without no money. He's going to US and he's setting up some small. So Prabhupada is Guru Maharaj is from a multimillionaire family. So coming behind the spiritual master, massaging his lotus feet. Is it okay for any materialistic person will touch another person's feet? But when Guru Maharaj comes, when Prabhupada's photos, we would like to touch the feet, right? To dance in front of the deities. I'm asking, if you have not come to Krishna consciousness, any yogi and jnani, just make them dance. Very difficult process. Even ladies, when they come to the temple, I am a lady, I am Varnashrama Dharma, Adi Patni, I won't dance, my leg will not move, it will stand like a tree. They will be so stiffly, stubbornly standing in the temple. It's difficult. Unless you have a real simplest heart, bhakti is difficult for those people who are complex to themselves. It is true. But at the same time, physically speaking, bhakti is the most blissful and easiest process, actually speaking. For some people, having easy process becomes difficult. Got it?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Thank you, Mataji.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. There are no more questions or comments. Who dropped out? Better to chant Vaishnava Pranam and go. Manchakalpatarubhyascha kripa
सिन्धुभ्येव च
Nanam
पतितानां
Vaishnavebhyo
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय
जय
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय
Jai.
गुरु
जय
महाराज की जय
Jai.
जय